I'd like to welcome you on behalf of the Hohner Institute of Percussion to our first annual Summer Percussion Workshop. Although this is the first annual Hohner Percussion Workshop, it is a continuation of the work that our staff has done for 13 years under the leadership of our former teacher, Professor Hohner at Central Michigan University. We're very, very pleased that we were able to bring back the workshop, which was one of his dreams that we feel that was very important, something we want to continue for many, many years to come. We're going to do some performances today, and I'll tell you a little bit about our camp and what the kids did this week. We had a great time. It was really hot, and we were outside in the sun, and they were troopers, and I was really proud of how hard they worked despite the conditions. Our first group to perform today is the children's dance group, so titled, from a movement from a band suite by Howard Hanson, which I arranged a few years ago for my marching band, and then further arranged it for this little percussion solo. So without further ado, this is the children's dance performance.
One more time? One more time, just for fun.
they were wonderful. Just want to point out that all these kids got their music on Sunday night, and you notice that they all had it memorized. You know, everything memorized and learned in this short amount of time is really incredible. We used to do this in a whole week-long format, and we never had any performances that were any better than what you see here today. These kids have worked really hard. While the next group gets ready to perform. What we did during the week, we just didn't spend all our time learning this music. We got up bright and early every morning and ate in the wonderful food commons at the Elma College dormitories. And then we went and did stick control on our practice boards for an hour and a half, and then we broke into little groups, and each student had an opportunity through the course of the week to play on a snare drum in the section, bass drum, tenor drums, and cymbals. So they got a good experience on all the instruments that you see out here. Because of our short week this year, we weren't able to give them a keyboard experience except for the large clinic with the HIP group. But they had the chance to play, and on each of the drums, they put little cadences together in those groups. And then in the afternoon, we had the HIP, Hohner Institute of Percussion drumline, who you'll be hearing a little bit later, play for you, do hour and a half clinics for the kids, and they talked about the battery, demonstrated some of the exercises that they use, and some of the music that they play, and then they had the keyboard section do a clinic on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we had the entire section show how they coordinate the battery with the melody instruments. Our next group that's getting ready to perform out here, we call the North Branch group, and that's because 99% of the kids out there are from North Branch High School. Yeah, go Huskies, Broncos. This is some kind of a creature. And we really think this is a neat thing. We encourage this. If your band director would be interested in having his whole drum line come to our camp, we'll have our staff work with this drum line and help them prepare basically whatever they want to prepare for their fall marching season. These guys are going to play a little solo from their show that they're going to play in the fall. Jason Bima, their instructor, Jason Bima, who is also a member of the HIP percussion group. This is really good. He told me right before we were getting up here, he goes, most of these kids didn't play in marching band last year. This is their first experience out there, and this is a great introduction to it for them. Because not only did they get to work together as a group, they also got to participate in the morning activities and learning about all the different instruments. So when they play together, they can understand, the snare drummers can understand the work that goes into playing in the bass drum section or in the cymbal section. They know what it takes because they've done it. We have one other individual in there, and that's Mitch Myers. He's our ringer there in the snare line, helping out. All right, are you guys? Okay, they're going to do a little sequence of warm-ups, and then Jason will introduce the piece before you play it. Okay, the title and stuff.
come here. They're going to be doing a solo from their show. Okay, North Branch is doing a show on their upcoming season. It's going to be the Lion King show. And then I Just Can't Wait to Be King is a drum break. We rewrote the drum break to make it a little bit longer and a little bit more intricate. Back there in the blue hat is Jake Heisentreit, also a member of HIP, and he helped me along with other members, Scott and Jenny and Dan. So there's been put a lot of work into this group. We're just going to do a little sequence. We're not going to play the actual song without the band. It's not going to make much sense. So we actually put it in their marching sequence. So you're going to hear a little bit of Cops, then the drum solo, Cops again, and then the drum solo one more time. So we hope you enjoy it.
All right, let's hear it again from the North Branch plus one. Okay, how about getting the white shirts out? Staff, come out, let's introduce. Test for me. This is the staff of the camp. Now kind of skip around here. on the far end is our mother. Took care of all of us this week, including the rest of the staff. So without her, we wouldn't know which day of the week we were on. But this is Corey Elliott. Corey Elliott is a graduate in music therapy from Michigan State, and she took a week off from her summer camp that runs all summer in Iowa. It's the Iowa Camp Courageous, where it's just a really neat thing. You should ask her about it. I'm not going to get into it now. Anyway, she works there all summer, and she was on our staff previously, and she was more than happy to come back and do the counselor thing for us. The head counselor took care of the kids with all the little problems they had and all the little problems we had. Let's hear it for Corey. We're going by age, so I'm going to skip over the next guy. And then you met Jason already from North Branch. He helped out all week. Jason's a member of the Hohner Institute of Percussion, and he's a fifth-year senior at Central Michigan University. And next is a recent graduate of Central Michigan University in Bachelor of Science from East Kentwood. This is Brian Ambrose. I believe Brian will be going to Oklahoma City University in the fall to work on his master's degree. Next is Kelly Cotter. Kelly is also a graduate of Central Michigan University, and he is currently living and working in Connecticut and part of the Loop 243 percussion ensemble, which just did a tour of Michigan in the spring. Kelly Cotter. Second member of Loop 243, who I'm really disappointed that I can't introduce him, since it's one of my most favorite things to do. Is to introduce John Gage, but John's not here. He had to take care of some business today. John Gage is also with Kelly in the group from Connecticut. He helped out. Next is Jeff White. Jeff White will get further introduced later. Hi Jeff, we'll skip you for now. And we met Jake Heisentrey. Jake's a senior, sixth-year senior and counting at Central Michigan University, music education major. Next is Dustin Jusela. Dustin is a student at Saginaw Valley State University in percussion. Dustin Jusela. Officially, that is the staff of the workshop, but I must say that I don't think we could have done it this week without the help of the members of the HIP drumline. So let's give them a big thank you from us. We're here at the beautiful campus of Alma College this year. It's been a real pleasure to be here. It's really nice that they're able to host us, and we have a person to thank for that. And this is the director of bands and percussion at Alma College, and he's our host for this week, Dave Zerby.
Thank you. It's really great to see all of you here. It's been a great week for us with the kids, and we've all learned as much as they have, I think. There's two groups that I'm going to talk about a little bit. First of all, you see some people wandering around here in blue and maroon skirts. Those are kilts. Those kilts are the uniform worn by the Kilty Marching Band here at Alma College, a group that's been in existence. This will be its 80th season coming up this fall, and they assumed that Scottish identity in 1933, and they've had it ever since. The tartan that they wear, which is the maroon and the blue tartan, is officially the Alma College tartan. It's registered in Scotland, so if you're ever in Scotland, you go to Aberdeen and you look in the registry of tartan, you'll find us in there. A number of students from Alma College participate in the HIP, and the HIP is going to begin rehearsing here at Alma College this summer later for for some things that we have going on with that. So you get to hear from that line and their director in a little while. The next group that's going to play is going to perform a piece arranged by Dustin Jusela entitled Moorside March. It's an English brass band march that Dustin did a great job arranging for marching percussion. And so I'm going to chat with them for a second, and then we're going to get started. Thank you all for coming. If you have any questions about Alma College and the program here, I'd be real happy to talk to any of you afterwards. Thanks.
While Dave's getting the group ready, we have some thank yous that we need to acknowledge some of the corporations that help sponsor our workshop by furnishing door prizes and equipment for us to use during the workshop. So we'd like to recognize the following companies: Vic Firth drumsticks, Regal Tip drumsticks, Malatech keyboard mallets, Innovative Percussion, Black Swamp Percussion, Hallmark drumsticks, Primo drumheads, Peisty cymbals, Sabian cymbals, Grover Pro Percussion, Steve White's Music, Universal Percussion, and Lone Star Percussion. Let's give a round of applause for those companies that help support us. We would especially like to thank Keith, Jay Schreiber, John Whitman, and Joe Tetzloff from Yamaha Corporation, and Steve Enzavino. Can't forget Steve Enzavino. If you knew him, you'd know why. Steve Enzavino of Yamaha Corporation of America for supporting the Hohner Institute of Percussion and the work that we're doing up here in Alma, Michigan. Thank you to Yamaha. Okay. They're going to do a brief warm-up sequence, and then they're going to go into their piece.
Faster. Close the base. One side mark.
Well, aren't those kids doing a fine job? All you guys, good work today. The final performance today will be the Hohner Institute of Percussion drumline under the direction of Jeff White. But before they begin, and before I turn the mic over to Jeff, the Hohner Institute of Percussion has CDs of our percussion ensemble available over there at a table. I believe $10 for CDs, Jeff? $10 for CDs today. And we also have sign-up sheets if you'd like to get a video of memories of the week. We've been videotaping all week long, and we're going to compile the video and be getting it out to the kids at a minimal cost to you. So there's information on those things over there at the table as you read the stands. Without further ado, I'd like to bring forward the Executive Director of the Hohner Institute of Percussion, Mr. Jeff White.
First of all, thank you all for joining us this, I almost said Saturday, this Thursday afternoon. A little bit about the Institute. The Institute was an idea I had last summer after I had graduated with my master's from CMU. I was pretty much on the road all summer with that current job that I usually did in the summer, and this thought came to mind of just everything that had happened throughout my career at CMU and under my teacher, Robert Hohner. Just a flood of thoughts, some good, some bad, and basically what I kept coming back to was the education that I received. It was one of the most complete educations, both musically, in the world of percussion, and in the world of life, really. He had a way of getting the best out of everybody. When every single person here, at least the staff, was once a member of the Robert Hohner Percussion Ensemble, and when we got to that school, none of us were any better than we came in there with minimal abilities, and by the time we left, we had people teaching around the nation at different universities, public school directors both in the state and out of the state, professional musicians touring the world. The things he could do with the people that came in there were just absolutely amazing. It wasn't, well, you're not good enough to be part of this percussion studio, see you later. There was always an open arm. He took us all under his wing and led us along and gave us one of the most complete educations that I can think of. That was my thought. Why does this need to end now? Let's keep it going. And with that thought, a bunch of us got together and talked about it, put some ideas together, and started getting the paperwork rolling. We are now a nonprofit organization, still awaiting some of the paperwork, but that takes a long time. But we are a nonprofit group. We are currently arranging our schedule, performance schedule for the upcoming year. We are currently looking to go to New York for a week to do concerts and clinics and various concerts coming up later this summer, early fall, and then into next year. And next summer, we're looking to get back to the 2-week format of this camp. Without what I had at CMU and the education that I got from Robert Hohner, none of us would be here right now. And that's why we've continued this, to give back what we got, because it was such a special thing. If we didn't believe so strongly in what we do, we wouldn't be standing before you today. So that's the biggest reason we started this, to give the campers the opportunity that we got. And just really quick, a show of hands from the HIP members out here. How many of you were campers once? A few years from now, some of your sons and daughters may be out here on the marching field or inside with the concert percussion group, the steel band, the jazz percussion group, and the world music group. So the possibilities are endless. We never stop when we've got something good. We try and always make it better. So we're going to have a brief brief meeting. We're going to do a couple warm-ups for you, and then we will get into one piece of the show that we're putting together for this upcoming fall and winter. We'll be playing America from West Side Story for you today, and as the other groups did, we'll do it twice. And after that, and we'll have one more wrap-up session with Dave. So thank you very much once again, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
time. Smart.
Okay, a couple of business items here, guys. The Arthur Hill drums, which we would like to thank Arthur Hill High School, North Branch High School, and who else we got drums from? Alma High School for helping with loaning us some equipment this week. But we need to take, yes, thank you. Okay, we need to get the Arthur Hill drums in the cases over here, and the other drums all go back to the band room. So if you guys all would help move equipment, and you're all familiar with this process, being the parents of percussionists, we need to get everything back to somewhere, back to the band room. Hold on a second, guys. I got one more thing for you to do. Two more groups of people that we need to recognize for helping make this possible. First of all, I know Mr. Shepard from Freeland was here today, and I know there's other band directors in the audience, but the band directors that teach these kids all year long and encourage them to do these things. Please stand up and be recognized. The band directors. Lisa, Mr. Hill. And we would all like to thank the parents of the students for supporting them in their musical education. Thank you very much. Mom and Dad. Jeff would like me to remind you of that the CDs, t-shirts, and video orders are available on your way out. Thank you very much for coming.